interesting. The activity that we did towards the end was great to apply the knowledge that was talked about in the presentation.
I think it's great for those who are looking for leadership positions because we're in Year 9, so for Year 10 and also for the future.
The outreach program is a take on the great initiative that the Project Management Institute Education Foundation has initiated a number of years ago, and the local chapter here is delighted to be able to deliver an outreach project to the community, primarily to secondary schools.
I found it really informing and really helpful. It'll definitely help me in the future for any projects that I undertake.
We worked well as a group and the delegation was nice, and I think our overall trip was really fun and it was a great way to apply the theory we'd learned.
I didn't know planning a holiday would actually require so many steps and so many precautions, so it actually opened my eyes up to how you need to do stuff in the real world.
So about 12 months ago, the Global Group produced a similar program in the US and ran it for schools, covering not only students but teachers, administrators. We saw the program and thought it'd be a great program to replicate back in Australia, but only for the students. So we spoke to SA Water, and SA Water came on board with supporting the project, and at the same time we started speaking to Pembroke and giving them the idea of what we can offer and having the opportunity to put some structure around the kids' chaotic life by using the project management skills.
Worked in well with what we want to teach students about getting organised and getting each other organised. And as a result, I thought, well, there's a nice marriage there. There's some real synergy between what we want to do and have been doing and what the PMI offers as a method.
So through this program we're going to run a number of workshops, introduce the theory, and then have the children apply those theories through some practical workshops.
When we first started planning the presentation, my aim was to plan a really simple presentation, something that the kids can relate to, and we started with baking a cake. The entire idea about using baking a cake or planning a trip was that kids can understand what we're doing, and it was really interesting the way PM methodologies and everything came together.
I thought it'd be a lot of sitting down and just listening to people, but I was really happy that it was a lot more hands-on and it was a lot of group tasks.
I found it really informative and practical as well, so it was great that we got a chance to put what we learnt to use.
In the future with the school, going to Germany, so I could implement that, which would be really handy.
We had to look at lots of different aspects towards planning the trip, as well as the risks and thinking sort of outside the box.
One of the real foci of the Australian curriculum at the moment is critical and creative thinking. So that's something that you're hearing pervade all discussions about education, and there's a natural tie-in with the method, the 5 key phase method, and the idea of students looking at things critically.
So the first group that came up, they were more about the entire, the overall view of how they kind of planned their trip to France and what preparations they needed to do to kind of get that rolling. And the amount of detail and depth that those students went to, it was just astonishing.
Even this morning when we had the students present after the workshop, they were talking about mitigating, they were talking about accepting risk. So they were very quick adopters of language. So there's a real benefit there because it makes everything that we're doing tighter and more sophisticated.
It was wonderful to see, as we were presenting, the interest in the kids and how much they're recognizing the fact that, hey, it's not new, we actually do this every day, but we didn't have a structured approach to what we did. And by showing them the methodology, they then realized, oh wow, we could actually do things on an everyday basis using this methodology.
And I could see kids nodding heads, and when you were going through baking a cake and we had those funny pictures up, it was so good. I mean, they could relate to what was happening in the room. They could actually see how a simple task can be broken down into steps. And as they moved over to planning a trip, that's when I really found that they had learned a lot from your part, and they were also utilizing them at implementing it in the project.
This has real potential, and what we want to find out in these 2 workshops, and I imagine that subsequently, is to what degree might we actually make this something that we repeat. And for mine, I'm optimistic.
And that's what we're trying to do here. I mean, just give them all the tools that we use on the field and give them an opportunity to utilize those tools to their projects, to any normal thing that they do, even planning an assignment or anything.
I found risk management really interesting, and I think that would be great to help with everyday life because there's risks everywhere, and to be able to know how to prevent them as well.
I can definitely use these to apply for our casual days and cupcake sales and general fundraising sort of ideas.
Like he said, you can apply it to everything.
I think it would be really useful for us in the future as we're moving into year 10 and jobs in the future.
As SV reps at the school, we're going to be organising lots of different events, so I think we can apply it there. So it'll be great.